let's talk. On this Monday morning, on February 9th, 2026, it is a whopping 5 degrees out. This is the longest cold snap I can ever remember. Oh well. Good morning, Linda. How are you? And Renee. Glad y'all are on here. So, I hope everybody watched and enjoyed the Super Bowl. I think it was fun. I want to know how many of you all would not have watched if I hadn't told you to. Because I have had so many people say they were so glad that they tuned in and watched and saw this was nothing like what the taco was trying to do. Because you see, the taco was trying to take our joy. His halftime show was just a walk through Puerto Rico. You saw farmers in the cane fields with the straw hats that you see Bad Bunny wearing all the time. So now you understand why he wears that straw hat. It's in honor of the people that work the cane fields. You saw young people dancing as young people do, just full of life and out there dancing. And I'm telling you, Latin music and dancing is just nothing but sheer joy and energy. You had the coconut vendors, and if any of you have ever been to any of the islands in the Caribbean, those coconut vendors, boy, they'll whop off a coconut, put a straw in, and you drink the coconut milk. It's delicious. They're wonderful to do. They had dominoes players. I don't know how to play dominoes, but there again, you always see people, they play dominoes like a lot of people up here play chess and checkers. That wedding that was in the halftime show was a real wedding. So that was really cool. Talk about something to tell your grandkids in a few years. He did some Elvis moves. Rick, if you listen to the interviews with Bad Bunny, he talks about when he was a kid, his mom used to listen to Elvis, and that's how he kind of, plus it's a Latin thing also. So they had Ricky Martin there. Man, he looked great. Hadn't seen him in forever. So it was really good to see Ricky Martin up there singing again. So then you had Lady Gaga. She was fantastic. She redid her song. What a heck of a wedding singer to have at your wedding at the Super Bowl. And then the whole thing with the power lines was about the hurricane. And because Taco could only toss paper towels and never did send them any relief, they actually set up schools and got high voltage people to come to the islands and teach these people, and they learned how to put their own electric grid back together. And that's another amazing story a lot of people don't know. So I loved the big sign at the Super Bowl that said, "Love is stronger than hate," and that together we are America, which is what I wanted everybody to remember. They're trying to divide us. But USA is the United States of America, and we're not going to let them divide us because we are a patchwork quilt of different colors and cultures. Now, Taco, and I'm going to talk about some numbers in a minute. Old Taco was so butthurt, he was just doing his thing on his phone, which I find hilarious. So apparently Bad Bunny was so much under his skin, instead of watching Kid Rock, he was watching Bad Bunny. So, oh, shame on you, Linda. You have to go back and watch it on YouTube. It was great. Anyway, so what the taco said was that it was vulgar. He didn't understand anything, and he thought it was not good for children to be watching such vulgarity. That's what he said. Well, Taco, 1 in 7 people understood everything the man said, because 1 in 7 people in this country do speak Spanish. Just thought I'd clue you in on that. And vulgar for children to watch. Did that just come out of that mouth hole of yours? Let me tell you what vulgar is. Vulgar is when children are being terrorized by ICE and watching their families taken away. Vulgar is when children have to be told that their mother was shot to death trying to deliver clothes to a clothing bank by ICE for being nothing but in the wrong place at the wrong time. Vulgar is watching on TV people being shot to death in the back on the streets. Vulgar is ripping a 5-year-old away from his dad only for his dad to say, keep him with me, and sending them to a concentration camp. That's what's vulgar. Vulgar is being trafficked as a young girl to rich, old, nasty white men who never will see a day of justice for what they did. That, Taco, that's what's vulgar. I'm sorry. I'll get off my high horse. So anyway, I'm really glad y'all watched the halftime show, except for those of you who fell asleep. I won't mention any names. But it was great. It was just a great, great show. So I am glad you watched. So I wanted to give you some numbers this morning instead of news, because this is important. This is all going to wrap in together. Now, I think by everybody watching, you got introduced to another culture you normally wouldn't have watched. We all would have just brushed it off and not watched it, but we did. We had joy, and a lot of you have sent me your pictures, and I do appreciate it. I don't know why I'm not able to load a lot of them. But anyway, so what the taco was doing was kind of a little poll on how the elections are going to go. So I want to give you some numbers. We have 174 million registered voters as of last fall in 24, or last election, 24. But only 154 million voted. So we had 20 million people that just didn't bother to show up to vote, and that number should increase. Now, the reason they're so desperate to put in the SAVE Act, because it primarily affects women, keep that in mind, is that 66% of registered voters who voted were women. The reason that they're really trying to screw with your mail-in ballots and early voting and trying to get rid of that is that only 39% voted on election day. So roughly a third. 30% voted early. That means they went to the Board of Elections and voted early, and that's why they've compressed that time to get to vote early. And 29% voted by mail. So pretty much a third, a third, a third. So if we do away with the vote by mail, look how we've whittled that away, and we do away with the early voting, then you're only going to have a third of the population show up to vote, and those typically end up being MAGA voters. I'm trying to find a nice word. So in 2024, 152 million people showed up to vote. 49.8% voted for Trump and 48.3% voted for Harris. He did not win by the landslide he likes to go around and proclaiming. He did not get a mandate. It was a squeaker because in 2024, only 152 million showed up to vote as compared to 155 million who voted for Biden. So Biden got 81 million votes in 2020 and 74 million votes went to Trump in 2020. And that was the largest electoral turnout in history. So what happened between 2020 and 2024 is we had people who voted for Biden that couldn't find it in their heart to vote for a woman. And then we just had a whole block of people that just didn't show up and vote. They just didn't show up. And now they're whining about what's happened to them. That's why voting's important. The reason I'm bringing all of this up is the Super Bowl last night was watched by 127 million people. But the halftime show was watched by 143 million. And I just told you that 154 is our number that are voted in 2024. So if all of the people who watched the halftime show would vote, girls, we're in like Flint. So I just thought I'd throw that out for you. And even though I really don't give two shits, only 4.5 million watched Kid Rock, and he was having all kinds of problems. They had to put out a notice that due to some kind of licensing problem, they had to move over to YouTube. They couldn't be on X. And I just thought that was so damn funny. No, their excuse was nobody was watching it. And then for Taco to be posting in real time, and they showed Mar-a-Lago watching the Super Bowl halftime show instead of what was going on with Kid Rock. Well, hell, he didn't even watch his own show that they made him. So I thought that was funny. And I just wanted to share those numbers with you. Now, Laura, I wanted to bring this up, Husted and the SAVE Act. I got scrolling at the bottom, use your 5 daily calls act, because I've just shown you with the numbers. More women are voting than men these days. So that's why they want to do away with women voting. And if you add the mail-in vote and the early vote, that's why they're messing with that, because more people now, 2/3 of people are either voting early or voting by mail now. So we can't let them take that away from us. I prefer that you vote early as to vote by mail, because they are royally messing with our U.S. mail. They'd like to do away with it, but they can't figure out how to do that because the mail service is in the U.S. Constitution. Monica likes seeing us. Yes, Papa and I had fun dancing last night because it was just joy. And I determined I'm going to stay on Taco's butt. But you know what? He's not going to take our joy from us. He is not going to take our country from us. And just the numbers last night proved we've had enough. We are going to enjoy our country, and we're going to be united again. As hard as he's trying to make it otherwise. Is it a little tough? Sure, it's tough. What would life be if it wasn't a little tough? What he's not counting on is us old birds are tough. We have been through life. Life is not always kind, but you know, what doesn't kill you does make you stronger, and we've all got hides like wet leather. So, Taco, you grab a hold of what you think you can grab a hold of, because we're just about to unleash another generation on you, and it's not what you're expecting. Now, I have had some people, And they weren't trolls, and they were women of all things, talking about how nasty Bad Bunny was and shame on me. You know what? I would let Bad Bunny babysit my grandkids. I sure as hell wouldn't let anybody in Taco's administration within a mile of my grandkids, and I wouldn't let Taco in the same county with my granddaughter. Come on, people. And for all of you people that were at the prayer breakfast and you're still praying over Taco and he's still God's gift, you know what? You're going to go to hell. Now, I want to clarify. I did not say for them to go to hell. I said they were going to hell. There's a difference in semantics. But if you believe in a heaven and hell, you behaving and worshiping that man like you do, and no matter what he does or says, you're okay with it. Okay, you're false prophets too. Stop it. Just stop it. You need to all go on a retreat and sit down and read the holy book again, is all I got to say. I don't go to church. I'm not particularly religious, even though I'm very spiritual. And you people ain't showing me anything I want to be a part of. So that's all I have got this morning. Well, Caroline, I'm glad you like my pep talks because that's what this is about. We're in a marathon. We've got to get through this. A lot of podcasters, and I'm not dissing anybody because I watch a bunch of them too, but it's all this doom and yelling and blah, blah, blah. Well, let me tell you a little something I learned in my former life. I was in environmental safety and health. And it's real easy for OSHA or the EPA to come through, and you got these young, energetic 20-somethings say, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. That's not within procedure. That's not within the law, blah, 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 blah. Well, it's easy to tell people what's wrong, and then they walk off. The real skill is you've got to tell people what's correct, how to make it correct, and how to get from where you're doing to where you go. And a lot of that is simple steps. These are the things you can do. We are not hopeless. We are not helpless. But some people just need to be reminded. And that's all I'm doing is just reminding you the power is within us. We can do this. Proved it last night. Look what we did with Bad Bunny. Look how many of you absolutely, whether you want to admit it or not, would never have watched that halftime show. And you did, and you enjoyed it. And it's a lot of my response to people. You didn't have to understand Spanish to understand the show. You didn't have to understand Spanish to understand the language of the music. Enough said. I'll get off my high horse. So, yes, keep up with your 5 calls. They're scrolling at the bottom. Now, whoops, wrong way. I got to get used to mirroring. That QR code up there, if you snap that with your camera, it'll take you to my link tree and it'll link you up to everything that I've got going from YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, Substack, my merch, and Buy Mammal Coffee. Those are all, located right there in that QR code. So I've got all those things up there for you. I'm learning. I also have my like and subscribe, if you would. Let me see if I can get it up there, and I can't because, I'm not that adept at it. But anyway, if you could, like, follow, subscribe if you can, but please, it's not required. It's not a necessity. I love you all anyway. So if you're not able to, don't worry about it. I'm not one of them kind of people. I just want you to know I need you to like and share and have fun. So let's see what Shelby says. The beat was amazing. Didn't understand the language. It was great. I got up and danced. See, you got up and moved. I even have somebody sent me a video. They're just sitting in their chair. It's beautiful. That's it. We all moved together. We all had the beat of one heart. That's our America. We are tired of the hate. We're tired of the taco trying to tear us apart. We're tired of chasing noodles that are thrown on the wall of a room. No, no more. No more. Yeah, Betty, how cold is it in Stowe, Ohio? Because it is freaking ass cold in southeastern Ohio, let me tell you. So, Terry Woods, good morning. Let me go through some of these. Boy, y'all were up early. I thought I'd just sneak this in here and then I got to go about my day. Still mad about my taxes. Got to call the IRS. I'm telling you. And the whole time I'm mad because Taco isn't paying taxes. You keep that in mind. If any of you have to pay taxes, any of you pay a sales tax, Taco doesn't. Yes, Seahawks won and they resoundingly won and they're owned by a woman. And then you looked over at Robert Kraft and his wife, who's young enough to be his granddaughter. See, that creepy thing, who gave all that money to his BFF Taco. I was just happy. And the Seahawks are for sale. Wouldn't it be something if we could all pitch in and buy it? Thank you, Carolyn. Yes, Kid Rock. Oh my God. He is just, can you do no better? I mean, really, can you do no better? Yes, Kid Rock does a song that is about child. I mean, who else do you think that they would pick? And keep in mind, and you know, I've given time to grieve. It looks like I've grieved more for the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk, Erica, than she has, but Erica Kirk was part of the pageant program that the Taco had. A couple of those attorneys that turned out to be non-attorneys that went to Liberty University to be attorneys that were disasters, they were part of Taco's pageant program. Blondie Pambondi, the protector of pedophiles, was part of that pageant program. I'm just saying. Ick. So she wouldn't go there. Let's see. Yes, that is a problem with people in other facilities that want to vote. All I got to say is their families, if they've got them, or friends that go visit, please let them get their ballots early and let them vote and just turn it right around early. I'm hoping they do burn. No, he sure as hell isn't a Christian. I'm trying. And you all give me the courage to do this. That's the secret. Thank you, Cynthia. But we're all uplifting each other. I get the best responses from you all. And between me and Sassy, we try to answer them all because it's important to me that you know I valued your time and that you took the time to say something. That's important to me, and I want you to know you're important to me as well. So I do the best I can. Even if it's a thumbs up, we read them all. Okay. See, I didn't know. Thank you, Brenda, because I wasn't sure this everyday thing was going to cut it. I know some people take a full formal set time every evening. And I'd committed to 2 times, but when I can, I do like hopping on in the morning, and I'm glad you look forward to it. Okay. Well, let me just keep scrolling through here. I like this, so we're able to. And Renee again is saying, please use your 5 calls. You got to do it. It is working. Okay. Yes, Jack. Thank you. And do not trust anyone in that administration. Did you see how much Lutnick is in the Epstein? Lutnick and Steve Bannon are in the Epstein files damn near as much as Taco is. Man, they need to demand somebody be resigning. And keep in mind, I'm glad that reminded me that for whatever reason, they're having Ghislaine Maxwell testify today. She has nothing to testify about. Claims she's going to plead the fifth, but you can't plead the fifth if you're not in harm of being convicted again. So that's kind of bizarre. But who gives a shit what that lying woman has to say? Ooh, did I want to call her something else? I don't care. I don't care about anything that comes out of her lying, nasty mouth. Nothing. Nothing. She has nothing to provide. She has nothing to say. She'll just sit there and cover Taco's ass because she thinks she's going to get paroled. She has nothing. I don't want to hear anything about that woman. So I'll just wait for the recap. I'm not wasting my time. What I am interested in is what our congressmen who are going to go over to DOJ and have access to the actual documents have to say. That's what I want to know. And then I want to watch Taco. Still, he's got that group of, what is that, 20 some percent just clinging to him for their dear life. I want to see them tied up in pretzels, still trying to defend his disgusting, lying, old, mad cow diseased ass. That's what I want to see. Yes, Cheryl, it is freezing ass cold. Wendy. Yeah, okay, Wendy. Wendy's kind of outed me too. A lot of times, even the English singers, I don't understand what they're saying. I actually, if I like the beat of the song, I actually have to go find the lyrics and read them because I don't understand what they're saying either. Not necessary. That's right. My husband, who was in Vietnam, I've told you all this. He's just a teenager. But he said one thing he learned about racism is everybody bleeds red. Nobody wants to die alone. And there's no such thing as an atheist in a foxhole. Very profound from the mind of a 18-year-old. And it's something we can use today. Let's see. So Judy says she loved our dancing. You weren't going to watch Bad Bunny, two old 70-somethings, and didn't think we would like it. Sorry we missed it. Also loved your dance and your lovely hair. You are doing such good. Oh, now come on. Papa and I both danced, and I had the nerve to post it. So Judy, you and your other 70-something, you turn on that TV. You can find it on YouTube, and you watch that show, and you'll have as much fun as we did. And then you just remember what it was like to be young and grab each other up and stand there. And even if you just sway, you enjoy that music. Don't let them steal your youth from you. Don't let them steal your heart and your joy. You watch it. You'll have fun. Okay, let's see what else we got here. But you enjoyed all of it. See? And like I said yesterday, my biggest disappointment in myself is that I did not learn to speak another language. I did try to answer. I got to tell you, over on TikTok, I met a whole new group of people from Puerto Rico, and I was just so thrilled. And I tried to answer them in Spanish, and the thing of me and Papa, I tried to put in Spanish to be inclusive of me and Papa dancing. And I said love instead of live. And someone I love dearly, who was the Spanish teacher at my old high school, corrected me. But I tried. I tried. Thank you, Karen. All righty. So I'm going to hop off of here because I know y'all got things to do for the day. Don't forget tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. And good Lord, I guess we got to give up the joy and go back to the stuff. But at least for one day, we were happy. We be making fun of him. I'm throwing these up here because I really want you all to see each other. Keisha, is there any more news on out in Arizona? Because we don't get the local news out there that would be more up to date on Savannah Guthrie's mom. I saw where they were looking through septic tanks on her sister's property. Have they elaborated any out there in Arizona? If you can, send me a message and I'll include it tomorrow because that's really just really sad. It's really sad. Yeah, Lutnick. Everybody on his cabinet. I mean, my God, why? And there you go. Marco Rubio has totally ruined his career. Um, I thought Doug Burgin might have a career, but he just sits there and I'm like, dude, why haven't you left? Because you've ruined what any career you might have had left. And the rest of them they're just lost. I'm happy Seattle won. If my Bengals couldn't go, if the Chiefs couldn't go, if the Eagles couldn't go, I'm glad it was the Seahawks. Kind of down on my list, but I was stationed out at Fort Lewis, Washington, so I have a little connection there. Okie dokie. Paulette says Bad Bunny showed us what real America is. That's right. That's right. And there was nothing profane about his show. There was nothing controversial about his show. I'm impressed with the staging. To me, that was one of the best staged shows I'd ever seen, and how they got all that cane in there and stuff was just amazing. But I'm like, well, Catherine, thank you for joining us, mate from Australia. See, we got more cousins. And just like my Canadian cousins, please know that most of us do not like the taco. We do not like what he is saying to our allies and our friends and our cousins. So please understand, we love you and we hope you will love us back because he's not us. And we're fixing to do something about it in this election. Going to box him up like a old Christmas toy and try to put him out in the shed. Yes, the Olympians are doing good. Does anybody watch Lindsey Vogn's wreck? That was really bad. And I'm thinking of her, but Lindsay, honey, I guess it's going to be, ma'am, I'll break the news to you. It's the same with some of these older athletes. You're in your 40s, you are in peak condition, you're doing stuff. But let me tell you what the saying is. You're in great shape for your age. You're doing a lot of things for your age. You're really fast for your age. Mother Time has a way of making markers on us. And sometimes you got to admit, maybe I shouldn't be competing against these youngsters because I'm harder on my body than what my body is set up to be. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not discouraging anybody, but Lindsay, I don't want you to kill yourself. Thank you, Leslie. God does hear all languages. God doesn't care about countries or borders or color. It's what's in your heart. But yes, we've talked about that. I've always found that profound. And my son, the same thing. Now, he wasn't in a jungle. He was in urban combat over in Baghdad, but kind of the same thing. In Baghdad, soldiers would put a ring around the Protestants who were having a service, and then the Protestants would pull guard for the Catholic services. And the most highly valued target by the insurgents was our clerics. Just letting you know. So they really protected the priest or the minister that was doing the service. It was usually the same guy did both services, but I'm telling you, it puts things into perspective. Okay. Oh, yeah, he didn't care, and he absolutely did not care. Remember him throwing in paper towels? Yes, we do. See, I got y'all thinking. Okay. Oh, wait, I got to get up here at Leslie. Yes, Leslie, my husband, when he got home, his first job out of the Army was in the police department in Detroit. He was heartbroken over the Lions. Maybe next year. Okay, I'm going to get off of here. So I want you all to stay salty. I want you to use them outside voices because it's working. We're going to keep up with our little acts of defiance. You're going to keep bugging the hell out of your congressmen and senators, especially the Republican ones. No on that SAVE Act. We're going to tell them to stop messing with our mail-in ballots. And we're going to show up to vote. And on another note, my oldest grandson registered himself to vote yesterday. You can do it online, and that's a step I told him into adulthood. Bye-bye, everyone. Love you.